Welcome to PMPA's Final Cut of the Week, where we share important information you may have missed while you were making essential parts. I'm Joe Jackson.
And I'm Veronica Durden, and this is what you need to know for the week ending January 26, 2024. The U.S. economy is driven by consumer spending, so consumer sentiment is an important indicator of what may be coming. The University of Michigan survey reported a 13% increase in consumer sentiment for January of 2024, which is the highest level since July of 2021. Overall confidence is up 29% in the last two reports, which is an increase unseen since the end of 1991 recession. Our take? 2024 is certain to be marked by uncertainty, volatility, and a lot of confusion. Understanding the role of the consumers in our economy may give us a direction for understanding the broader trends this year, despite the competing distractions.
At 102.5% of its 2017 average, total industrial production in December was 1% above its year earlier level. It increased just 1% in December, declining at a 3.1% annual rate for the fourth quarter. Manufacturing output was up 0.1% in December, following a 0.2% November increase. Increases in December were certainly unexpected by most of us. The data gives us reasons to continue to be positive about prospects for manufacturing.
Videos from hidden cameras are all over social media. People have found cameras in their hotel rooms, rented houses, cruise ships, and even public bathrooms. Every year, smaller, more disguisable cameras get cheaper and more accessible. Some even communicate over cell towers so they don't show up on any local networks. This is another indicator that cyber threats are a growing problem everywhere. There is a real threat in our shops of individuals stealing company secrets or possibly ITAR part-related information. When is the last time you checked your shop for hidden cameras?
Cutting tool orders came in at 202.7 million in November 2023, which is up 4.4% over a year earlier. Year-to-date orders are up 7.5%. Aerospace and automotive remain two of the highest users as we are starting to round out 2023 data. Cutting tools are down slightly from October 2023 reading and are up but at a good pace from 2022. This is an indication that the industry growth is not caused solely by inflation.
On this week's Speaking of Precision podcast, Miles Free, Carly Kistler-Miller, and David Wynn discussed the recent R&D tax compromise proposal and why congressional approval is important to our shops and workforce. This podcast and our Speaking of Suppliers podcast can be found on major podcast platforms or on PMPA.org.
Now it's time for our weekly tip. Hopefully you have a to-do list, but do you have a to-don't list? To learn more about a to-don't list, go to PMPA.org's Knowledge Centers or Final Cut of the Week.
And that's our take on what you need to know for the week ending January 26th of 2024. For additional information and links about any of the topics discussed today, go to PMPA.org and click on Final Cut of the Week.
Thanks for checking in, and we'll see you next Friday. Volatility.
I was going to say violence. Some even communicate over cell towers so they don't know.
Aerospace and automotive.
Recent R&D tax
Compromise proposal. You wanted to say compromise, didn't you?
I did.
I know, because I read it in my head as that.
No, I was going to say
Yeah,
that. And
I
I'm
know.
like, I know what I want to say.
Right.
R&D tax compromise proposal and why. I'm sorry, I wanted to laugh.